welcome back to the channel. Today I have a process video for you for a paper issues challenge that's happening this month. It's the Making a List, Checking It Twice challenge. Most of the December challenges at paper issues are obviously holiday themed, but I have actually not been using holiday photos for the challenges. There's an Advent sketch challenge that's happening, one sketch a day for the 24 days of Christmas. There's a December challenge going on for both Christmas and Hanukkah, which is really cool and great inspiration if you're doing a December daily or even just the memory dex cards. I don't do those, but I was doing December daily. But the regular challenges are also still going on. So this is just one of, the regular challenges that they have every month. And I decided that I was going to sort of interpret it in a non-holiday way. So I have these two photos, and I decided two photos would be appropriate because it's checking it twice. So twice two, that makes sense. And because these are photos of my daughter trying to play chess, I thought I would title it Checkmate, and then check would satisfy the checkin' it part of the challenge. So there are lots of different ways that you can interpret these paper issues challenges. It doesn't have to be so literal, and especially if you, like me, already finished all of your last year's Christmas photos and you don't really have anything, or you're saving your photos for your December daily, or you don't want to print your own photos and you're waiting for photos to be delivered to you. However, whatever's going on in your world, you can still adapt these challenges to fit whatever you have. And that includes product and photos, whatever product and photos you have. So I'm using some old Echo Park. Actually, it's a Disney World collection. But I'm going for white and black here because even though that chessboard is like a brown and black, I thought the white and black, to me, reminds me of, traditional chess. So that's the color scheme that I'm going for here. And I'm just cutting down some of this pattern paper, which is like Fancy Pants Designs, Jen Hadfield, just a bunch of like old stuff from my stash. So again, a great stash buster. And I'm just cutting it into little squares. So I'm going to end up having big squares, medium-sized squares, and little squares. And I'm just going to create my own little pattern of them, kind of peeking out behind the photos and going down around on a vertical line, sort of, diagonal vertical. You'll see what I mean as I put it all together. And I was inspired by this. I saw something on Pinterest. I'll try to have my Pinterest specific scrapbook cards board linked below so you can find what I'm looking for, what I'm talking about. But there was one, somebody did a sketch and it actually used hexagons, but it was very, very spare on the shapes, but just kind of like layered in a certain way, small hexagons, big hexagons, and I thought, well, why couldn't I do that with squares? So all of this is going on a white piece of cardstock from Coordinations. I have everything laid out the way I want it to, not adhered yet, because I want to make sure that I have space to do a title. So those are Bella Boulevard Florence stickers, which I love those alphas. And then I also have some old Heidi Swap alpha stickers from, I think, the 2019 paper issues fall kit. I'm not sure if they still sell those alphas in the store, but they're gold and they're glittery. And surprisingly, I still had a couple vowels left in the set, which doesn't always happen. I usually run out of the vowels and then I have like random letters and I'm like, I don't know what to do with these, so then I have to throw them away and it always makes me so sad. But anyway, so I've got my ink dabber, which is actually from a different scrapbook store. I'm just going to kind of give some more definition to all of these pieces and ink the edges in black. Of course, I need to make sure that before I really get started, since I do like the placement of everything and I've got the letters that I want to use, I'm going to start adhering the photos so that I know that placement is concrete, and then everything else I can adhere to. I can adhere to the rest of the layout after I ink everything. And because it's kind of boring watching me just ink the edges of things and adhere them down, I've cut out most of that. But I think you get the idea, and hopefully you can kind of see a difference here. Maybe you'll see it even better in the close-ups of what these squares were before I inked the edges and then after having the edges inked. I just think especially on that white background, it just gives them a little bit more pop, and the ink I used was from Hampton Art. It's just a black ink pad, so nothing super fancy or special. And here I'm going to be figuring out just the specific placement of all of my letters. So I really wanted them to kind of overlap the squares that were there at the bottom. So I'm just going to put them over the squares. There's really nothing else too exciting to say about that. Oh, I guess I should tell you, since this is a Paper Issues challenge, if you are shopping in the Paper Issues store, use my code LARS to save 20% off your order. And that code will be good until I think December 31st after we get into 2021 and I'm no longer on the design team, that code will not be good. So definitely use code LARS while you can. You have until the end of the year. What else can I say? Oh, and then definitely I'll have the link below for the Paper Issues Friends and Fans Facebook group. If you're not already part of the group, definitely sign up to join. It's a free Facebook group, and there are challenges all the time, including this one that I'm doing here. And if you participate in the challenges, then you are entered into a drawing to receive a prize, which is very exciting. So I'm just going through some extra embellishments here. Those are old Jen Hadfield embellishments. And I think there was one, it was a little black border with a white word that said hello. And so I'm going to put that at the top corner of my photo square there, my photo rectangle, I guess. And then the love story piece, it was black and white. It doesn't super fit, although my daughter was really like in love with the chessboard. So that was actually very old Shiggy Studio that I still had in my stash. And then I'm using just a sequins mix that has sort of like blackish sequins and white sequins. And I'm just kind of placing all of that down and adding a little bit of extra shine and dimension because all the squares are pretty flat. So I wanted to have just a little bit of something extra. The sequins, I bought the wrong kind of glue dots, you guys, because I thought I was trying to save money and I bought the wrong glue dots. So I've been using my tacky glue to do the stickers or do the sequins, and it makes my fingers very sticky and gluey. It's not my favorite method. I don't even think that it is a good like long-term adhesive for sequins. I think the glue dots are a lot better. But if you buy the wrong ones that are the wrong size, you live and you learn. So I have giant glue dots, and I should not have purchased them. I should have purchased the mini ones. Anyway, that's just me making mistakes, trying to save money, and it didn't work out. So now I just have to figure out where I'm going to put the journaling, and the only place that really makes sense is right there under the title. And it ends up being a little bit longer of journaling than I had anticipated. If I'd kept it to like 3 lines, I think that would have been good, but it goes a little bit farther down the page than I had wanted, but that's okay. I got down the words that I wanted to say, so I'm happy with that. You guys are going to have some close-ups coming up, so you can hopefully see more of the dimension that inking the edges gives it. I'm actually going to ink the edges of the whole paper, just because it's, white construction, it's white cardstock, and I just wanted the whole thing to pop a little bit more. So that's something that I've started doing a lot more recently. Not just inking the edges of my photos or the things that are going on the paper, but the background paper itself. So I don't know if that's something you guys have been doing, but definitely let me know what you're working on in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching. I hope this was an inspiring process video for you. Give this video a thumbs up, click subscribe for more process videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye!